All right, so what we're going to talk about in this section is we're going to talk about Social Security and living on borrowed time. Social Security is something that we need to discuss because Social Security is money that is taken out in our paychecks, and it is paid with payroll taxes. Social Security, along with Medicare Part A, are those two entitlement programs that are paid with payroll taxes. Now, with Social Security, you have to realize that the most important figure to consider is the ratio of workers to beneficiaries. How many people are putting into the system and how many people are pulling out of the system. When your Social Security money is deposited, it doesn't go into a general fund for Congress to put into the budget. It goes into what's called the Social Security Trust Fund, which is an account that Social Security contributions are put into and used to pay those eligible recipients. Current payroll taxes, and this is back in 2010, so this has changed, are about 12%. Workers contribute about 6% and their employers then will match it. This is then money that when you hit retirement age, which is currently 65, you can start pulling that money out and get a monthly paycheck to help supplement your retirement. Social Security is the most expensive public policy that we have in the United States. Social Security is the largest expenditure in the federal budget. We have to realize, though, that now because more people are pulling out money from Social Security and we have fewer people putting in, that system could potentially bankrupt itself. When President Bush was in office, he proposed diverting some of the individual Social Security contribution to a private retirement funds, but a lot of people didn't like that because they didn't feel that it was a trustworthy place to be putting their money. They felt safer with their money in the Social Security Trust Fund. President Obama is a little bit different. He's more likely to raise payroll taxes because as a Democrat, he feels it's the government's responsibility to be there and to help us to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to save ourselves in the future. The last thing that I'm going to leave you with is really not this picture. Social Security is one of those hot topics, controversial issues that's debated in Congress almost daily. Should we force people to pay money out of their paychecks and allow the government to save their money for retirement? Or should we allow people to take money out of their own paycheck and put it into private investments? Well, the argument then becomes what happens if those private investments go under? We experience another issue like we did with Wall Street years ago. So there are some very big issues to consider. The last thing that I plan to leave you with is a video. This video it's a song that was written and sung by John Glazer, and it's about Social Security. It's kind of like an old-timey music video, but I really want you to consider what's being said. So here's the video. It's called Too Old to Work, and it really just focuses on the issues of Social Security and why it's there.
You work hard for a living until you get old, and sometimes they push you right out in the cold. When your working time's through, you don't want charity. You'd like to retire with some dignity. And you're too old to work, too old to work. When you're too old to work, and you're too young to die. Who will take care of you? How you get by when you're too old to work and you're too young to die? They put horses to pasture, they feed 'em on hay. Even machines get retired someday. The boss gets a pension when he is too old. You helped him retire, you're out in the cold. And you're too old to work, too old to work. When you're too old to work and you're too young to die. Who'll take care of you? How you get by when you're too old to work and you're too young to to die. There's no easy answer, there's no easy cure. Dreaming won't change it, that's one thing for sure. But fighting together, we'll get there someday. And when we have won, we'll no longer say, too old to work, too old to work. When you're too old to work and you're too young to die. Who will take care of you? How do you get by when you're too old to work and you're too young to die? When you're too old to work and you're too young to die.
So it's clearly propaganda, but it is something to consider. Who's going to take care of you when you are too old to work, but you know, you're still alive and you still need to pay for those things. So just something to consider, and a good video.